What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome, exiles, to the Research Institution. So, we need to talk about the things that are important right now. There's a lot of chatter, a lot of yapping about Path of Exile 2 and where it needs to go, what needs to be fixed, etc. So I hate to say it, but we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. All right. First off, the bitches. That's right. The character models. It's a big deal. So my impression, first off, why does this matter? Well, people historically tend to like looking at things that they find visually appealing, believe it or not. They don't like looking at things that are ugly as fuck. So basically, this has worked since the dawn of fucking humanity. And 99.9% of them like visually appealing things. Now, the ones who say they don't are lying. Because they get some brownie points from somewhere or another because of it. But nonetheless, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the bitches. So we got the witch. In my opinion, she's fucking hot. You know, she's good. She's good to go. It's a visually appealing character to look at while you're playing. She's nimble. She's quick. She's lean in all the right places. Nice hair, nice skin, nice soft facial features. This is shit that we don't see in Diablo 4. You know, this is shit we don't see in modern games. I mean, it's crazy. So, I'd give her like an 8.5 out of 10. And that's without additional attire being added. You know, I don't know what's with these armor sets that you can buy. I mean, it seems like you should be able to buy things that she could move around in a little better, if you know what I mean. She needs to roll, she needs to dodge, she needs to get out of the way of enemies. So it seems to me like a little less clothing would be better. Unless if I'm missing something here. Some of you say, but Iceman, her tits are small, Iceman. Their tits need to be bigger. They're woke because they didn't give her big tits. My answer to you is, that's fucking gross. Who really cares about big tits anyway? They're big enough, in my opinion. When they get too damn big, it starts to mess up their back. There was this one bitch that I knew when I lived out in California for a little bit. She was hot. And she lived in the neighborhood in which I lived, right? This was a nice-ass gated neighborhood. And I'd go walking by her house, and these were the days when I was really hitting it hard in the gym. I mean, I don't know if you guys know, I'm 6'4". Still got some muscle and shit. But, you know, I was keeping myself up. She just saw, I don't know if she liked me, all right? But she took notice to me, and she started conversation with me. So we sort of became friends. But then shortly after, she went and got a boob job. And hers were fine. This was a blonde chick. I mean, she looked pretty good. All of a sudden, I see her, and she has, like, all this shit, this straps around her, and cuts and wounds, and god damn. And then it didn't take more than a month for her to start having back problems. I'm like, what the fuck did you do that for? I wasn't going to tell this to her. And we even hung out in a hot tub together not long after her job, and these things were just boo, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm not interested. It's kind of what I was thinking. I never pursued anything with her. I mean, I don't know if she wanted that or not. Doesn't really make much of a difference to me. I wish her the best. Remember her little thug boyfriend drove by me in his little Honda Civic or some shit, his little vroom vroom car, and she told me that he didn't like me. He just drove away. I mean, I didn't care. I knew, because yeah, obviously I'm hanging out with her, you know? Why would he like me? But he had nothing to say for it. He didn't want to come up and say it to my face, so I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, he was a little bitch boy. He was a bad boy. He was a thug. He was on tether. He had a little, I could tell he was a bad boy. You know, it's no wonder she was attracted to him. But it seemed to me she was more attracted to me. But I mean, this video isn't about me. I wasn't trying to get with her. Just to be clear. But point being, those tits grossed me out. So they're primarily just made of fat. You know what I'm saying? So is it really that? I mean, let me know in the comments. I mean, I would say medium, small to medium, is kind of my deal. And that's what we're working with here. And this chick in Path of Exile fits that criteria. And it helps, because you don't want these big-ass jugs hanging around when she's trying to roll and dodge out of the way of enemies and so forth. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think it works out great. But what do you guys think about the witch in Path of Exile 2? Like I said, we got to talk about the shit that really matters in this video. We're going to get to some gameplay stuff, too. Then we got the Sorceress. That was it's called? Bitch sounds like she's from Russia or something. I think it's kind of nice, kind of interesting. She's cute. Great body, nice skin tones, nice soft features, no masculinity, not much of it anyway. I mean, yeah, she's a little aggressive. I wouldn't say to the extent that she's testosterone driven. Just a little aggressive. She's just one of those kind of bitches. So, I mean, I think she's fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else they come up with. Like, we have all these characters to choose from. We have 6 right now, don't we? I need to go back to the character select screen and check these characters out and do a review on them. But basically, the 2 that I've played are the Witch and the Sorceress. And I mean, they get the green light from old Ice Boy, all right? These ones are great. They're ideal, they're practical, they're visually appealing, and I don't see anything wrong with them. They're not like done up to the T, but I mean, you know, that's probably a good thing. You need some immersion here as well. This is always kind of riding the thin line of realism, immersion, and fantasy. And that's what I like about it. It's not like one of those Japanese games or whatever where she's in little heels and this and that and barely wearing a damn thing. This is somewhere in between. I mean, I wouldn't mind it leaning toward that direction just a little bit more. Like I said, they should give us more options, some selections when it comes to the attire, just for practical purposes. You know, I mean, she doesn't need to be wearing heavy sets of armor when she's just trying to avoid enemies the whole damn time. But beyond that, they're good to go. But I am curious, what do you guys have to say about that? And another thing, I remember I fought that boss in Act 3, that fat bitch. Holy shit. I don't know if this is what you guys were hitting me up over. You're like, oh, Iceman, we got to see you fight this boss. And I fought on a live stream. I didn't know what you guys were talking about. I was like, we're going to be fighting Mephisto or something? But I didn't know what to expect. But sure enough, there's this fat bitch and her titty were hanging out and all that. I mean, she was just grotesque. It was crazy. She even reminded me of some chick that I went to high school with. I mean, I'm not going to tell you guys who it is or show you a picture or anything, but this bitch was just like her. She acted like her too. This chick in high school, I remember there was this little guy that would follow her around. There might have been something slightly wrong with him. I don't know. And I'm not criticizing him or trying to be mean, but I'm just saying maybe this chick sort of took advantage of that. But she was like this testosterone-driven bitch, right? And she was blah. And she reminded me of this boss I was fighting. It was crazy. But after my character, the witch, killed off the boss, you guys wouldn't believe what she said. She said, what a fat, disgusting woman. Or something like that. I can't quite. She's like, what a disgusting pig of a woman is what she said, right? And yeah, that's harsh. Yeah, that's fucked up. But you know what? This is the game we're talking about, and you know, we're adults playing this shit. And I mean, honestly, I thought that was funny. You know, this is stuff that Blizzard would never do. You know, they would never use those fucking words these days. They would never use the word fat. They would never use the word disgusting. They would never use the word woman. You know what I mean? Like this just, and to have them all in one fucking sentence. I mean, it was funny as hell, man. So this is something else. Yeah, this is a new era that we're in right now. This is a great game. And it seems like that they're okay with just, you know, catering to their fucking audience, believe it or not. Isn't that crazy? We have a company today, a big-ass company who might even be partly bought out by Big Red Dragon Country. I'm not entirely sure. Clarify in the comments below if that's true. But nonetheless, I mean, it seems like to an extent they're catering to their audience. You know, they're trying to give their audience what they want. It's fucking crazy. We just haven't seen that in so long in any of these big games. But Path of Exile 2, and I know they're patching things up. I'll talk about that in a future video. A lot of changes, this and that. A lot of guys complaining about the difficulty. I mean, I think the difficulty is good. You know, I don't mind it. But I'm not really looking to get to the end. Once you get there, the game's fucking over. You know, then they say, oh, what about we need to find the items sooner and faster and more of them. My thoughts on that are, I think the item drop is great. You know, I'm level 42, 43. I found about 5 uniques. I think that's great. They're not raining from the fucking sky where you got to go to town every minute. Which is just really, really annoying when you got to go to town every couple of minutes to salvage all your fucking shit. And it's just no longer appealing to find it. You know, it's just a task. It's tedious. So I think it's good to keep us in the fight more and to have the loot fall as it does. You know, I think that's a good drop rate. And then it's all the more rewarding when you actually do find something, you know what I mean? So in a treasure hunting game, if you find all the fucking treasure, the hunt is over, the game is over. So why the hell would we want to find all the treasure? I think that they should keep adding tiers and tiers of rarity of gear. It will allow for more variation to thrive if they do that, because there would be some examples where I'd find one way up here, you'd find one way down here, but I wouldn't have found the one way down here, but I did find the one up here, so we have different builds going on. I just think that builds off in a sort of treasure hunting challenge-based sort of game. And this is a hybrid sort of game, I know. And if you don't like the roll, if you don't like the rarity of gear, if you don't like it being the difficulty being built around the roll or whatever, I mean, I think that's why PoE 1 still exists. And that's why they were saying this since the beginning, that we're going to still be working on PoE 1. We're still going to be adding expansions to this game. We're not going to leave it because it's going to be for that audience who wants the spreadsheet simulator sort of less challenging sort of thing. Number crunch sort of thing. Whereas PoE 2, it is a number crunch. It is, to an extent, it is a spreadsheet simulator to an extent, but it also has an aspect of challenge where, in that sense, which is the role in avoiding and timing and dexterity and placement. So with that being added, it allows for you to have a bit more variation when it comes to your gear and your build, because that's not really where all the challenge is like it is in other games like this. It's over the top camera. There's not much difficulty otherwise. It's just point and click, maximizing the numbers. It's a big number crunch. So that's why often these games lead up to just a couple builds that you can play, and that's that. Because at the end of the day, it's a fucking number crunch. But it's not just a fucking number crunch when there is this sort of thing involved that does involve timing, skill, placement, and dexterity and all that, which is the roll, the infinite roll. So I think they should keep it. You know, I think they should keep it how it is for the most part. I mean, yeah, they're tuning down some enemy critical hit damage, critical hit chance, some of their damage in general. So maybe that's not a bad thing. I don't know. But I like the idea of a game where very few actually get to the way, way far reaches of the end of that shit. And all of us are just kind of here like, wow, some of these guys are busting their fucking ass. Look how far they got. You know, like just like real life, you know, we see sports, we see people doing the pole vault and all that shit. You know, yeah, we could do the pole vault. Yeah, we could get pretty high, but some guys, they just get higher, you know, and it's cool watching them. And we know that eventually somebody else will probably break the damn record. So I kind of like a game being like that. Oh, but Iceman, you're never going to complete it then. You're never going to beat the fucking game. But the game's not meant to be fucking beat. As far as I see it, if we're connecting this with how life is, which I think is how we should. Because we were meant to play this fucking game forever. And so, I mean, I'm down with this, man. I'm down with the rarity of shit. I'm down with the skill. You know, I'm down with the fucking roll. I mean, it's been a damn good time. You guys got to stop rushing yourselves. You know, who gives a shit if you're stuck? Just make a new fucking character. Get good. I know that you guys don't like hearing that, but I mean, I thought these PoE guys were hardcore. You know, it's just crazy. So I come to this game from Diablo, and I'm like, what the fuck? I thought these guys are hardcore. Who the hell is bitching about the drop rates? Who the hell's bitching about the difficulty? Come on, this is a good damn game. Let's not get them to fucking ruin it. If you want an easy as fuck games, go play Diablo 4. If you want just some kind of just chilled back, no critical thinking, this, that, and the third, go play some PoE 1. If you want a copy-paste build or whatever, this is beyond copy and pasting. You know, you can't copy and paste skill. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you get with this. You get a sort of blend of all those. So let's keep it how it fucking is. You guys want to play something else? Then go play Diablo 4. Go play Diablo 2. Go play Path of Exile 1. Go play Lost Ark, some of that shit. But, I mean, as far as I see it, stay away from this one. You know, just, I mean, let's have it be its own thing. You know, oh, it's fucking hard. Great. Oh, I can't find all the fucking gear. Great. If you did, the game would fucking be over. It's a treasure hunted game. And beyond that, the little skill gem things, some folks are saying, oh, the skill gems, PoE 1, you can just level it up as a use a damn thing. This one, you got to keep finding all this shit. And yeah, that is kind of tedious when you find all these skill gems that are earlier than what you need. Like, I don't know what to do with all this shit. I'm just going to start selling them to the merchants. But it's just kind of, that's maybe something that could change. Maybe you could transmute all these and up them in like Diablo 2, you could up shit in the cube. Remember the runes? You could up them into higher runes. What if you could find these skill things? Like if you find like a level 5 skill gem or what the hell you call it, why can't you just make that shit boost up a little bit by combining a bunch of them, you know? In that sense, it would add a sort of sync to them. But I mean, maybe that would be a good idea. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Or do you like it how it is? In terms of leveling up as you use them, I don't know how much of a fan of that, because then you can't just experiment one skill and then directly compare it to another skill, this or that, and do that sort of research and just the sort of comparisons, because you're going to be like, oh, but I busted my ass with this one for 40 fucking hours, so in order to have this one be comparable that I want to compare it to, I'm gonna have to bust my ass with this one for another 40 fucking hours. By the time I do that, I'm not gonna be interested in comparing one. I'm gonna be sick of it. So I don't know if that's the way. Again, these games are different. If you want to level the damn gems, then go to PoE 1. It's going to be a great game still. They're going to be adding a whole bunch of shit to it. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, do you guys like where it's at? What are your thoughts on the character models? Who the hell's coming up next too? They have like 6 being added. Holy shit. I can't wait to see them. But let's get the word out. You know, we like visually appealing characters. Let's get a couple more. You know, let's get 2 or 3 more women as far as I see it. And keep them nice, you know, keep them visually appealing. And this game's looking good. But if you guys will like the damn video, subscribe to the page, become a patron if you want to support the meditations and the research. Links in the description below. And I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Peace be with you.